MyMark. Brand yourself, leverage yourself, monetize yourself. Make your mark online with MyMark.
Hi, this is Dana Ibarra from MyMark. Today, Dana Ibarra tells us 3 steps to syndicate your podcast. You may be asking, what is syndication and why do I care? Let's address this question first. Syndication is the ability to make content, in this case, a podcast episode, available to a broader audience by allowing them to subscribe to feeds. This greatly simplifies the ability of your audience to listen to your podcast. It is pulled right to their player. Before you get started with the 3 steps, you'll need the following. 1. A hosting site for your podcast. We recommend Podbean. 2. Internet access. And 3. An MP3 file of your episode. See MyMark's The 5 Must-Dos and The Secret of the Rising Tide ebook for instructions on how to create MP3 files from your blog and video. Once you have these 3 items in place, follow these 3 steps to syndicate your podcast. 1. Create your podcast episode. Although there are various techniques for creating your podcast, take a look at MyMark's The 5 Must-Dos and The Secret of the Rising Tide ebook for instructions on how to create MP3 files from your blog and video. 2. Upload your podcast episode or MP3 file to Podbean or another podcast hosting site. 3. Create an RSS feed for your podcast. In Podbean, you simply go to Layout and choose Sidebar Widgets. Drag the Subscribe widget to the sidebar. Now, everyone who visits your Podbean site will be able to subscribe to your podcast. They only need to go there once to subscribe. You can also make the Podbean subscribe icon appear on your website. If you put the RSS feed link on your website, you will use the orange RSS feed button. Step 3 is the syndication of your podcast. This will enable all of your listeners to subscribe to your podcast. As you release each episode of your podcast, they will receive it in their listening application, such as their Google homepage or iTunes. This has been Dana Ibarra from MyMark on 3 steps to syndicate your podcast.
The one thing your competitor will never have is you. Make your mark today with MyMark.